don't tell anyone. Ethan cries and begs Alexis to keep it. General Hospital spoilers. The late afternoon sun cast long shadows across Port Charles as a nervous silence settled over the city. Inside Alexis Davis's office, stacks of legal files covered her desk, but her attention was fixed on the young man standing in front of her. Ethan Lovett looked nothing like his usual confident self. His hands trembled, his eyes were red, and for the first time in a very long time, he looked terrified. Alexis immediately sensed something was wrong. "Ethan?" she asked softly. "What's happened?" Ethan opened his mouth to speak, but no words came out. Instead, he turned away and stared out the window. Alexis stood slowly. Whatever this was, it wasn't a legal problem. This was personal, deeply personal. "Ethan," she repeated, "talk to me." For several seconds he remained silent. Then Alexis heard something she never expected. A sob. Ethan lowered his head. His shoulders shook. Tears rolled down his face. "Please," he whispered. Alexis froze. "Please don't tell anyone." The desperation in his voice sent a chill through her. "Ethan, tell me what's going on." He swallowed hard. "If this gets out, everything will be destroyed." Alexis's heart began racing. Questions flooded her mind. Was someone blackmailing him? Was he in danger? Had he committed a crime? But nothing could have prepared her for what he said next. "I found something." Alexis frowned. "What kind of something?" Ethan reached into his jacket pocket and carefully pulled out an old envelope. The paper looked decades old, weathered, fragile, important. Alexis took it cautiously. The moment she examined the handwriting, her expression changed, because she recognized the name, Luke Spencer. Her breath caught. "Where did you get this?" Ethan looked away. "I wasn't supposed to find it." Alexis slowly opened the envelope. Inside was a letter, one that had clearly never been delivered. The date on the top made her stomach drop. It had been written years ago, long before many of Port Charles's current secrets had ever come to light. Alexis began reading. As she moved through the words, her eyes widened. "No." Ethan nodded miserably. "Now you understand." Alexis sat down heavily. The contents of the letter threatened to rewrite history. Everything people believed, everything they accepted as truth, everything. And Ethan had discovered it completely by accident. "I found it hidden among some of Luke's old belongings," Ethan explained. "I thought it was just another keepsake." Alexis looked at him. But it wasn't. "No." The room fell silent. Alexis read the letter again, and then again. Each time the implications became worse, much worse. "You haven't shown this to anyone else?" Ethan immediately shook his head. "No. Not Laura. No. Lulu? No. Anyone?" His voice cracked. "You're the first." Alexis understood why. The burden of this secret was crushing him. The information contained in Luke's letter had the power to destroy relationships across Port Charles. Families could fall apart, old enemies could be created, long-buried wounds could reopen, and Ethan wasn't sure what to do. Neither was Alexis. "What do you want from me?" she asked gently. Ethan's eyes filled with tears again. "I need advice." Alexis waited. What kind of advice? His answer came in a whisper. "Do people deserve to know the truth if the truth only hurts them?" The question hit Alexis harder than she expected, because she had spent much of her life wrestling with that exact dilemma. Truth versus protection, honesty versus mercy, justice versus peace. There was never an easy answer. "Ethan." "No," he interrupted. "You haven't heard everything." Alexis felt her pulse quicken. There was more, much more. Ethan sat down opposite her. His face had gone pale. "The letter wasn't the only thing I found." Alexis stared at him. What else was there? Ethan reached into his pocket again. This time he produced a photograph. Alexis took it. The moment she looked at it, she nearly dropped it, because standing in the picture was someone who absolutely should not have been there. Someone connected to a mystery that had haunted Port Charles for years. Someone whose involvement changed everything. Oh my God! Ethan nodded. Exactly. Alexis looked back and forth between the photograph and the letter. The evidence seemed impossible, yet there it was. Real, undeniable, dangerous. Now do you understand why I came to you? Alexis slowly nodded. Yes. And she truly did. Because this wasn't just a secret anymore. It was a ticking time bomb, one that could explode at any moment. Meanwhile, across town, other residents of Port Charles were completely unaware that their lives were about to change forever. Laura Spencer sat at Kelly's enjoying coffee with Lulu. Their conversation was light-hearted, relaxed, normal. Neither woman realized Ethan was carrying information that could shake their family to its foundation. Elsewhere, Sonny Corinthos was dealing with his own problems. Carly was focused on protecting her children. Jason Morgan was tracking a suspicious lead connected to a recent investigation. Everyone had their own concerns, their own battles, their own secrets. Yet all of them were unknowingly connected to the truth hidden inside Luke's forgotten letter. Back in Alexis's office, Ethan buried his face in his hands. I'm scared. Alexis felt her heart break for him. This wasn't the reckless gambler people often assumed Ethan to be. This was a son overwhelmed by a discovery he never wanted to make. You don't have to carry this alone, Alexis assured him. Ethan looked up. But if people find out, I know. No, Alexis, you don't. His voice shook. If this becomes public, people I love will hate me. Alexis frowned. Why would they hate you? Because I'm the one who found it. The pain in his eyes was unmistakable. He already felt responsible, already felt guilty, already feared the consequences. Alexis leaned forward. Listen to me carefully. Ethan waited. You didn't create this secret. His eyes glistened. You didn't write that letter. A tear rolled down his cheek. And you didn't make whatever happened in the past happen. Ethan took a shaky breath. But I might be the one who destroys everyone by revealing it. Alexis couldn't deny the possibility. That was the problem. Some truths healed, others shattered, and she wasn't yet sure which category this truth belonged in. Suddenly, Ethan's phone vibrated. His eyes widened when he saw the screen. Alexis noticed immediately. What is it? Ethan looked terrified. It's impossible. What? He stared at the incoming message. The color drained from his face. Someone knows. Alexis stood. What do you mean someone knows? Ethan showed her the screen. The anonymous text message contained only 6 words. I know what Luke was hiding. Alexis felt cold, very cold, because that meant Ethan wasn't the only person aware of the secret anymore. Someone else had found the trail. Someone else was watching. And whoever sent that message clearly wanted Ethan to know it. The question was simple. Who? But the answer could be deadly. Because in Port Charles, secrets were never just secrets. They were weapons. And someone had just declared war. To be continued,